In preparing this homily, I kept coming back to one basic question. What's a spirit like you doing in a place like this? Think about it. A man with an unclean spirit sitting in the synagogue. And I thought to myself, yeah, this is a gospel about Christ's authority, his ability to hold people in astonishment, create awe. And yet, the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this also is a gospel about Christ's love, forgiveness, and our own free will. Who is this man sitting in this synagogue? He's me. He's you. He is any one of us who is struggling with the issues in life that keep us from being in perfect communion, or at least better communion, with Christ. Things that keep us from living the type of life that we know, with God's help, we are capable of living. And we know that he calls us to live. And what of this man that day, when he was brought back into a perfect spiritual balance by having these things taken from him? We don't really know. Did he go home a changed and different man? Did he live a life as a better Jew, become a follower of Christ? Or after a couple of hours, or maybe a few days, did he just kind of slide back into those easy ways that are comfortable and familiar and spiritually divisive for us? We don't know. But we know that those same questions are the questions that confront us today, right here, right now. So what do we do with our lives? Do we turn to God and surrender to him? Because only we can do that. You see, irrespective of Christ's power and authority, he is powerless to make us do anything other than our own will. And just as it was up to that man in that synagogue that day, it is up to each of us to make a decision to have Christ in our life in a meaningful and in a permanent way. In a few minutes, we will come to the Eucharistic table. We will hold the source of all authority in our hand. We will come into union with him. What are we going to do? Are we going to ask him to heal us, to balance us, to make us his own once again? To ask for the grace that we need to live the life that we are called to live? Light in the world, salt of the earth, living the gospel day to day? If you really want those things in your life, now and forever, just open your hearts and ask Christ to give you the grace and the strength to live that sort of life. And ask not with anticipation, ask with certainty, knowing that you will be heard, knowing that you will be answered. And on that day, at that time, when you hear his voice, open up your hearts.